At first glance, the Rolex Submariner Mil Sub does not look so different to the regular model, except for the auction estimate. But, as with many aspects of watch collecting, it is the details that make all the difference. The Rolex watches made for the Royal Navy in the 1970s have captured the imagination of collectors and have become one of the most coveted simple watches around. Maybe it is their limited numbers. The consensus is that approximately 1,200 were made, and being military issue, they will not have had the quietest of lives, and significantly less than 1,200 will now exist. Maybe it is the romance of acquiring a genuinely military issue watch with all the associated adventure that implies. Whatever the reason, this is one of the ultimate tool watches to own. The first detail that sets this watch apart is the lugs. They are solid, fixed bars rather than the usual spring bars. This means that the watch is worn with a NATO strap rather than a bracelet. The solid bars are much more robust, but if one does break, the watch will not be lost. The T on the dial indicates that the luminosity of the dial and hands comes from the use of tritium. The 5513 reference was delivered to the Navy in a number of bezel and hand configurations, depending on which batch they were in. While some will have been changed during later servicing, knowing the batch will authenticate the bezel and hands that the watch should have. The 5513 came with either sword or Mercedes hands, and with either 15-minute or 60-minute bezels. This watch has the sword hands and the 15-minute combination. The back of the watch shows the engraved broad arrow indicating Ministry of Defence issue, and the number beginning 0552 is the MOD part number. The numbers at the bottom of the caseback are the issue number and date. Made around 1970, this watch was issued in the late 70s to a diving supervisor stationed at HMS Dolphin in Gosport, which at that time was the home of the Royal Navy Submarine Service. This is lot number 238 and has an estimate of £25,000 to £30,000.